And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and we are just less than 24 hours away as of filming. Yes, this is being filmed pretty late Friday night, but I wanted to make sure I got this video in because I know you guys definitely, when it comes to our big USA national men's and women's team, and this is the summer of rugby for us in the United States. This is a big day of rugby tomorrow. Big double hitter in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Audi Field. This is going to be the first half preview with the USA women's team taking on the Fijianas 15 side. It's the opening matchup of the doubleheader. Of course, the other half is going to be the very big USA men's taking on the England men's rugby team. Both pretty exciting matches. I'll admit I'm not too familiar with Fijiana rugby. This will probably be the very first time I've ever seen them. It's also, remarkably, the very first time that these two sides have ever faced off in the history of their two sides. So it should be a pretty exciting matchup. But let's go into details of this right now. Number 9, USA Women's hosting number 15, Fijiana Women's Rugby Team. As I mentioned before, very first time that these two sides have met. This will take place tomorrow, Saturday, July 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard kickoff time. Of course, you can watch the game on Paramount Plus live or on demand. In the United States, you do have to pay a little bit. International fans, you can watch it on Rugby Pass TV. And this is taking place at Audi Field in Washington, D.C. Let's talk about our USA women's team. They've head coach Sione Fukufuka has just announced the entire squad that will be traveling right after this game. They'll be heading out towards the Rugby World Cup in Australia as they get ready for the Women's Rugby World Cup. They do have another setup match in Canada before they go off to Australia. This will be their last match in the United States for the time being. Right now, unfortunately, USA Women's kind of on a downslope. They are on a 7-game losing streak that dates way back to last year when they were taking part in the very first WXV Women's Global Tournament. They haven't won a match since last year. Unfortunately, 3 matches that they had to set up to what we're going on today against Japan, Canada, 4 matches, I'm sorry, Japan, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, unfortunately, were all losses to the United States. So USA obviously really hoping to bounce back as they get ready. This is, like I said, the first of 2 matches that are pretty much their only setup matches before the Rugby World Cup in August. So it's very important. Fiji, on the other hand, they are coming off of winning the Oceanic Rugby Championship for the women's, beating Samoa and Tonga 24-20 and 59-5 respectively. But it should be noted the quality of competition. Samoa is ranked number 16, Tonga number 25. When you look at the sides that USA just recently lost, they lost against Australia, which was ranked number 6, New Zealand, which was ranked number 3, and of course Canada, who they almost beat. It was an exciting game in Kansas City. They barely lost 14-26. They were the number 2 team in the world. So again, very stiff competition on the USA side compared to Fijiana. Not taking anything away from Fijiana, but I feel that USA had a lot tougher competition the last couple of games than the Fijianas had. Obviously, that will make this game very exciting to really see where the USA are in comparison to some of the other competition. Because Fiji did make the World Cup this year. They're going to be in Pool B, USA's in Pool A. So again, nice little way to kind of see how other teams are doing as we lead up to the Rugby World Cup. Now, this squad, and I'm going to pull up right here, the squad that will be facing Fijiana is pretty much the exact same squad that faced that same Canada team I was telling you about that they barely lost. Sione Fukufuka, I feel, has really been honing in on a very solid, consistent core base, hopefully creating some sort of chemistry and team dynamic, and hopefully, again, you know, some of the matches I felt USA had a really good shot of winning. Obviously, Canada and Japan, both of them very disappointing losses. So hopefully, USA can kind of get their mojo back. Fiji should be a win. Canada might be a little bit of a test, but like I said, they did barely lose to them in their first meeting a couple months ago. Hopefully, like I said, these two games will really give USA some momentum as they go in. Because the opening match in the Rugby World Cup, unfortunately, is going to be against the number one ranked women's team in the world. And that, of course, is England. So, yeah. But either way, let's get talking about this squad. So, of course, number one, Hope Rogers, who just recently broke the all-time test most capped of any woman in USA Eagles history with 54 for the Exeter Chiefs. So she is a stalwart on the USA squad. She is also going to be one of the very first, or very few women, very first USA women to play in 4 Rugby World Cups. That is phenomenal. Congratulations to Hope Rogers. Number 2, the hooker Catherine Treader, Loughborough Lightnings, Bay Area Breakers, 29 caps. Kea Mae Sagapolu, the other prop, number 3, Leicester Tigers, ACT Brumbies, 18 caps. Your locks, Haley Taufu from the Loughborough Lightnings and Denver Onyx, who just recently won the very first WER Legacy Cup, 26 caps. Erica Jarrell Searcy, Sale Sharks, 18 caps. Your flankers, Talia Brody, Leicester Tigers, and again, the Denver Onyx, 19 caps. And your captain, Kate Zachary, Ealing Trailfinders with 44 caps to her name. She will, of course, if she was this Rugby World Cup, will be her 3rd Rugby World Cup on record. Number 8, Rachel Johnson, Exeter Chiefs, and the Denver Onyx, 36 caps. Olivia Ortiz is your scrum half at the number 9 spot, Sale Sharks, 25 caps, with Mackenzie Hawkins as your fly half. The Denver Onyx, 24 caps. Fellow Denver Onyx, number 11, Erica Bailey. Erica Bailey, honestly, is one of the most dynamic women's rugby players to come up in a while. This will only be her 3rd cap, but she has been dynamic, not only in WER, but in the few games. She has been suffering a little bit with injuries, so hopefully she is 100%, but it's great to see her there. And of course, Ella Kelter, one of the best women's rugby players ever. Loughborough Lightning's Bay Area Breakers with 28 caps. And then the most recent SB Award winner, Ilona Maher, who has been just a phenomenal spokesperson for rugby, not only just rugby, but sports in general in the United States. Congratulations, of course, to the SB Award winner, Ilona Maher. She will be at the number 13 spot, Bristol Bears and USA Sevens with 5 caps. Emily Henrich is on the other winger position, 14, Leicester Tigers, Boston Banshees, 24 caps. And then rounding out at the fullback position, Bulo Maetoga, Loughborough Lightnings, Bay Area Breakers, 25 caps. Then your reserves, Sione Fukuoka has really put together a pretty veteran squad, even with those on the bench. Very few new players on this roster, at least very few players with less than 5 caps under their belts. There is one, though, we'll get to her at the very end. Number 16, Paige Sasopoulos, Ealing Trailfinders, Boston Banshees, 17 caps. Olivia Leatherman, Ealing Trailfinders, and the TC Geminis with 5 caps. Katie Benson at the number 18 spot, Sale Sharks, Boston Banshees, 46 caps. Should mention that Katie Benson and Kate Zachary, more than likely at 46 and 44 caps, will possibly break the 50 cap marker at the end of the Rugby World Cup. So good luck to both of them. Hopefully they stay healthy, and that is a great accomplishment for them. They will be just the 3rd and 4th woman to ever have more than 50 caps in USA women's history. Rachel Arecki at number 19, Denver Onyx, 22 caps. Georgie Paris Reading, Sale Sharks, 14 caps. Cass Bargel, the scrum half backup, Boston Banshees with 7 caps. Kristen Bitters, the full fly half, fly half backup from the Denver Onyx with 4 caps. And then the one that I was mentioning, making her debut if she gets onto the pitch, Sarai Ibarra from the USA Sevens team, winger and fullback backup. She is the only debutante on this roster. So as I mentioned before, a pretty veteran and experienced team. So, and again, the starting 15 exactly same that played against Canada. So I believe the strategy for Sione Fukufuka is really about that cohesiveness and just creating a team dynamic. Again, this is just one of 2 warm-up matches for the USA Women's before they head off for the Rugby World Cup. But again, exciting for the USA Women. This should be a fun match. Unfortunately, I will not be able to live stream this match. I will be live streaming the men's match following. I do have work, unfortunately. I, of course, will be watching the match afterwards. And I fully encourage you to check out this USA Women's match against the Fijianas. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. Mention again, Paramount Plus. Check it out for a very phenomenal fee. They have a deal going on right now. 99 cents for your first 2 months. So 99 cents each of the first 2 months. So $2. And you can watch all the rugby. You can watch the under-20s rugby tournament that just happened, which was super exciting. Rugby Sevens, the HSBC, that will entirely be there. I believe the entire Rugby Women's Cup will also be on Paramount Plus as well. So, I mean, why not? It's not super expensive at all. Really convenient, and you get hours of rugby entertainment. So again, unfortunately, we'll not be watching this live, but I will be catching up later. Again, highly recommend that you do it. Support your USA Eagles team. And again, as always, thank you very much for checking out my videos. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you on the pitch. Go USA!